Hi Cancer, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Today we're going to talk about the total lunar eclipse that occurs in Taurus at on November 8th, 2022 at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's also a blood moon and the sun is sitting in Scorpio at 16 degrees and Taurus is sitting across the sky in its 16 degrees. So welcome Cancer. If you haven't joined me here before, welcome. This is where we talk about astrology and the aspects as well as pull some tarot cards. Today we're actually going to focus on the Taurus themes of wealth as well as your self-worth, your physical world of possessions, and your career, your job, what it is that you do to make money. I think this is a really potent time anytime you are during eclipse season, because this is 6 to 18 months worth of energy. So let's get right into it, Cancer. So at this time, Cancer, we do have a stellium of planets sitting in Scorpio. We have the sun, we have Venus, we have Mercury, and we have the South Node. All of these planets are within 0 to 7 degrees of this eclipse at this Taurus time. So this is going to be a lot of energy and a lot of themes around what is no longer serving you, especially in your career, especially in your job. Where is it that you need to reinvent yourself, look at what is no longer fulfilling you? Okay, so we are going to actually pull a wealth code oracle card. These help us focus on what planets or what energy is helping us bring in wealth information and wealth energy. So I really like how these cards focus on that. So let's take a look, especially during this Taurus time. All right, so you actually got the Muse, Venus. Also, Gemini just received Venus as well. And remember, Venus is in the sign of Scorpio. So really interesting. It says, I inspire and I am inspired. Intuitive, inspired, idealistic, creative, divinely connected, passionate, emotional, and sensitive. So Cancer, at this time, if this is a time that you want to explore maybe your artistic side or anything that kind of connects you more to that divine, motherly instincts like Cancer already is, really good time. And I also feel like this is a really great time if you are someone who is interested in finding maybe a different career. This might be a really nice time to start looking at what your interests are, what you creatively do already, whether it's in art, music. This could be maybe building websites, or maybe starting crafting or scrapbooking or jewelry making. Like, all of these are things that maybe you normally do in your free time, but maybe you can actually make a career out of it. Okay, all right, Cancer, so let's go ahead and pull a past, present, and future card spread, and then we will also clarify it. Cancer, if you haven't already taken a look at those November month ahead videos, those are up on Scorpio Soul Time, as well as the Eclipse playlist. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs there as well. Okay, Cancer, so for the past, you do have the Empress card. I was telling, I believe it was either Cancer, it was either Gemini or Taurus. They also got the Empress card. Anytime you're getting the Empress card, especially during this time where there's a lot of Venus energy with that Scorpio, that's really indicative of you growing into possibly birthing something new, maybe a new endeavor, a new job. There's something that you've been working on with that in the past, okay? In the present, you have the Knight of Cups. And in the future, you have the Nine of Cups. So definitely some kind of emotional assistance might be coming in for you here, Cancer. So it's really nice to see the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So some kind of watery, really connection to possibly your job, your career, or whatever it is that you're trying to move into, Cancer. Oops, so that just flew out. So what is that? Look at that, Temperance. So there is some Sagittarian energy here, Cancer, wanting you to really take your time and be balanced, really focus on what it is that you want. Don't try to rush anything at this time. I think that that is really important energy of these eclipses, because they really are trying to show you what needs to be illuminated, what needs to be taken out of your life so that you can start anew, okay? So that Temperance card just flew out there trying to explain to you that you don't need to rush this decision. You know, take your time. Everything will happen in divine timing, okay? All right, Spirit. So for the Empress card, the clarifier is the Queen of Pentacles. Really beautiful energy with that Queen and the Empress. For the Knight of Cups, we do have the Three of Swords. So don't be surprised if possibly someone comes in with some kind of news just out of the blue at this eclipse, because trust me, Uranus is conjunct this eclipse. So there can be some information that just, you know, comes out of the blue that you were not expecting. And for the Nine of Cups, you do have the Ten of Swords. So there definitely is some type of endings coming on in after this eclipse, Cancer. I would say before we even get into the cards, you can already tell that there's some type of a mental strain on you that possibly you need to give yourself time to figure out. And I say that because between that Temperance card, the Three of Swords, and the Ten of Swords, there's like this emotional component of you trying to figure out where things are going, and especially dealing with your job, your career, whatever it is that you're possibly thinking about taking on as a side hustle. There is this component of like, take your time to figure it out and don't try to rush it. I feel like in the past with this Queen of Pentacles and the Empress card, both in reverse, there possibly was, maybe you've tried some ventures in the past. Maybe you've had a couple of jobs. Definitely this feel like more seasoned veteran, like maybe you've been through 3 or 4 jobs and you're kind of like tired of like reinventing yourself. I feel like there's this energy though of like someone was trying to help you maybe in your career. Maybe you were trying to make more money and you had like a female mentor or someone who is more in that motherly type position that was trying to assist you to grow whatever it was, like if you were trying to grow in a role at your company. But it feels like you're tired of that. It feels like you're no longer feeling like that's where you need to be, and almost like you've outgrown the role. And I say that because with the Knight of Cups and the Three of Swords, it feels like there's someone trying to like give you some like emotional kind of like a nudging, and you're kind of like ignoring it to the point where you're like heartbroken, or you're just like, you don't even want to deal with it anymore. Like you get news out of the blue, something just comes to you that is going to be emotionally jarring possibly at this eclipse. Cancer, you all are a very emotional watery sign, as is Scorpio. Remember, Mercury is in Scorpio, Venus is in Scorpio, the nodes are in Scorpio, and the sun is in Scorpio. So don't be surprised if at this time between the Knight of Cups and the Three of Swords, you get some kind of news that may not be welcomed at that time. But it definitely feels like it's going to be something that in the overall is going to be worth it. Meaning like this Nine of Cups is like usually a card of something you've been wishing for or you've thought about in the past. So maybe you get some some unfortunate news about your company downsizing, but they're going to give you all severance packages, and this gives you 3 months of being able to look for something else, but in a whole different direction. I feel like this Ten of Swords is symbolizing there is going to be endings around this eclipse. Remember, it can be 6 months from now worth of energy, but I definitely feel like it's going to be something that you've actually secretly wanted. No one likes to be fired, but at the same time, when you look back on it after the hurt is gone, you realize, you know what, this is something that it's now given me 3 months to be able to start my website that I never had time to do because of my job. So definitely, Cancer, this is going to be an interesting eclipse for all of us. I feel like between the Empress and that Queen of Pentacles, the Muse Venus card, you really are tapping into more of that side of you that is the divine feminine, and really just like figuring out what is it that makes you feel good, what is it that makes you happy to be alive and happy to like work through some of these hard times. I do think it's going to be a little hard at times, Cancer, just because you do have these swords, but I think that you're going to be able to handle it. I think that we're all going to be able to handle it. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs, excuse me, just to make sure that you know they're all kind of like in sync, and see what the different messages are. Okay, Cancer, I wish you a great total lunar eclipse in Taurus, and I'll talk to you later.